Birthday girl, did you have a good time?
Hey, how are you?
Good. Did you have a wonderful birthday?
I did. I did. I went out to Vegas for a while
What?
and I saw Mariah Carey. She had a residency and
Okay.
she was absolutely amazing.
I did that last year for my birthday.
Did you?
Yes. And I saw, what's his name? Lord Jesus. Usher.
Usher. Usher. Yes, yes. I didn't make it out there for him, but I tell you, if he was, and I hear he did a spectacular job,
Put it
but
this way.
Mariah was just some kind of wonderful.
Awesome. But put it this way. Usher made the old lady blush.
Too cute. Oh, wow. I love him so much.
I didn't know, I don't know. I might know one or two songs
Hmm.
here and there because I don't listen to Usher.
Really?
It was a nice experience though.
It was. I'm sure it was. Well, Mariah Carey, she's always been one of my favorite artists. And
Awesome.
I tell you, she showed me why.
Awesome. That is wonderful.
Mhm. Yeah. So I'm
That,
hoping we'll get through court real quick. I'm going to see my daughter. She's starting her doctoral program. And
oh,
I'm going to visit with her tomorrow.
awesome.
Yes.
You have a wonderful time.
Thank you. Thank you. Take care. Okay. Bye-bye.
I know you've been in that for 4 weeks now. You know everything. I'll walk over there if I have to. No, I just no, I spoke with him. He's like, oh, she's cool. I think it's a war. Okay. Like you don't put me in a yeah.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Apologies for the delay. This is the State Expedited Accusations calendar in the State Court of Fulton County, Georgia. I'm Judge Melanie Williams. At this calendar today, we will set bonds for those who have been recently arrested and accused of misdemeanor offenses where the state has already formally accused the cases and bound them over to state court. All defendants, you have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say regarding the facts of your case can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney at this proceeding today. As you can see, I'm conducting this hearing over the internet as a live stream. It's also being recorded. That means any member of the public can log on and watch. If I ask if you understand your rights, that is what I am referring to. Have all defense attorneys had the opportunity to interview their clients?
Yes, Your Honor, except that I believe P.D. Cook is interviewing one of the clients with a Spanish interpreter.
I have not started yet. I don't know if we have the interpreter here yet.
She's here. I was hoping that it may have started before my arrival. Can we do that now? Can we put Mr. Cook into the breakout with Ms. Chancey? Maybe not. What is my reset date, Ms. Bridgewater?
It's August the 13th, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Those who receive a signature bond will be reset for the notice. Those who receive a surety or cash will be reset to the all-purpose calendar on the 13th of August, whereby aspects of the case, including bond, can be revisited. Who do we have first?
Is everybody on the calendar that should be? Judge, did you get the add-on?
I saw there's an add-on, but I did not have the opportunity to print it.
There are two.
There are two add-ons or just one?
Oh, two additional cases
Okay.
on our calendar.
So we got a total of 20.
Yes.
Okay.
I have one that's in quorum two, Mr. Gregory Gates. He's not on either calendar. He was on our pull sheet though. And I put it in the chat, his booking number and first and last one.
What was the name?
Gregory Gates.
Yeah, that one's accused.
Excuse me, not on the calendar.
So we're back to 21. All right. Can we please get Mr. Cook in there with Ms. Chancey? Is that possible? Have they moved the person who needs interpretation?
Yes, quorum one should be logging on.
Okay. All right, Ms. Grace, as soon as you see courtroom one log in, can you please put Ms. Chancey in that breakout with Mr. Cook? And can
Yes,
we take
ma'am.
that case? Can we take all the cases that are not Mr. Cook's first, please?
Yes, but is there gonna be another add-on for Mr. Gates?
Well, apparently so, it's accused, so he should be on the calendar. So, but can we get started?
Yes. We can go with position number 17, Ms. Waddell. Gates. Yeah.
All right, good afternoon. Your case is 24 CR 005316. Why you're charged with obstruction and giving false information. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, can I have the history, Mr. Howard?
Waddell, 11 total. 2022 suspended license. 2020 fleeing. And 2013 embezzlement.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Allen?
Yes, Your Honor, that's my case. This is an incident from the 30th of July. This took place at 9995 Old Dogwood Road in Roswell. Police were attempting to investigate a call about a threat. They encountered the defendant who gave a false name of Armani Anderson and then a false name of Tehran Chris Felder. Never actually gave her real name, his real name. Also found to have a arrest warrant out of Cobb County. Identification eventually located in the defendant's wallet. Search incident to arrest. This is one count of obstruction and false information. We'd be asking for a $1,000 surety bond, Your Honor. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons.
Okay. And whose case is this? Is this yours, Ms. Kim?
Yes, this is my case. I believe she has another hold. She was arrested mainly for arrest warrant from Foreign County. So we would like to request for a signature on bond through jail and release to be to the another hold. She does have a two full-time jobs. She's, very diligent, working hard. She does live with her fiance and his family. She has ties to the communities. She's not a flight risk. She's been here for more than 5 years. And also she has an associate degree from college for food service management. We would like to request for signature on bond. Thanks.
Okay. For position one, the obstruction, defendant is going to receive a $5 cash fine. And for the false information, defendant is going to receive a $1,000 signature bond through the jail. She's had no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. Is there anything additional?
You said $5 on the
Yes.
first count?
Yes. $5 in cash. All right. Best of luck to you, ma'am. That concludes your case. Who do we have next?
We can go to position number 7, Mr. Duncan.
What was that bond?
It was 1,000 SOB through the jail on count 2, $5 cash on count 1. Who was it? Who was coming? Who is this?
Position number 7, Mr. Duncan.
Okay. All right, sir, your case is 24 CR 005. Please mute whoever that is. You're slowing us down. 24 CR 0053220D. In this case, you're charged with obstruction. Do you understand your rights? Is that a yes?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Mr. Howard.
2022 trespass, obstruction, stalking. 2014 possession of marijuana. 2013 driving with license revoked, and 2010 communicating threats conviction.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Desiano.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This incident took place on July 29th of this year. Officers responded to what was initially a trespass call at 3230 Dodson Connector Apartment 5 in East Point. The caller stated that there was an African-American male wearing a gray shirt and skull cap refusing to leave her apartment. When she told him that she was calling the police, he did leave. And the officers found him walking around the complex. When they got there, they asked him to stop so he could identify himself, and he fled the scene. The state's requesting a signature bond. Thank you. And it through pretrial. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Whose case is this? Is this yours, Mr. Cook? I don't think it's
No.
Mr. Cook.
No,
Mr.
Your Honor.
McLean, Mr. McLean, this is your case? If you're speaking, you're muted.
What is the name you're on?
It's Duncan. Mr. McLean is trying to say something, but he's muted. Mr. McLean, try to hit the button. We can't hear you.
Safe driving mode. Is
Okay. Can I put you on speakerphone so you can talk to the court?
Sure.
Here we go.
We can't, Ms. Kim.
Your Honor, actually, I called on his cell phone, so the voice audio can be heard through the voice. Would that be okay, Your Honor?
Yes, that's fine. Mr. McLean, is that you?
That's me, Your Honor.
Okay, your screen is frozen too. Oh, there you are. We can kind of see you now. All right, is this your client?
We've got two videos going, but for some reason it's got me in safe driving mode. This
That's
is a
okay.
yes, Your Honor. Mr. Duncan has no objection to the signature bond. The court might want to consider it being through the jail instead of through pretrial, considering the facts of the case, but that really neither here nor there.
All right, we can't send it through the jail anymore due to SB 63's changes. So
Very good.
Let's see, defendant is gonna receive a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial at level 3. He's to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. All right, best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
We could go to position number 9, Mr. Dominique Gay. Third room. Okay, seat in the third room.
All right, you said position 9?
Yes.
All right, your case is 24 CR 005311. Why you're charged with obstruction and trespass. You understand your rights?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Howard?
15. Last arrest was June 21st, trespass. On first offender probation, entering auto. It's 23 SC 190550. Was arrested June 5th for trespass. April 20th trespass. He has 4 2023 trespass convictions. 2022 burglary reduced to trespass, first offender.
All right, thank you. Miss Allen?
Yes, Your Honor, I apologize. This is an incident from the 27th of July. It occurred at a Texaco at 2067 Delow Drive. At 2:45 a.m., the defendant was encountered by police as well as the clerk at the location and asked to leave. He failed to do so. Police were called back at 3:25 a.m., excuse me. The defendant was continuing to remain on the property, had not made any purchases, and was observed making verbal threats to customers. He's charged with obstruction and criminal damage, and criminal trespass, excuse me. You just heard he's on first offender. It sounds like he got first offender twice, which doesn't make a lot of sense. And he's got active probation and criminal trespass, multiple criminal trespass convictions, Your Honor. So we'd be asking for a $2,000 surety. If the court's not inclined to do a surety, we would do a request to SOB through pretrial level 2. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons. Stay away from the Texaco. And again, that address is 2067 Delow Drive.
All right, thank you. Is this your case, Mr. McLean?
Yes, Your Honor. So what I've got is audio through the speakerphone, right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, very good. Your Honor, I believe Byron, his godfather, is on. Byron, are you there?
All right, we're gonna move forward. There's no victim to hear from, Mr. McLean. You know I don't do that unless absolutely necessary. We gotta keep moving. So what is your recommendation?
We would recommend a signature bond, Your Honor, through pretrial. That would be fine. His family, his cousin and his dad have been talking to PAD, and they're hoping to get him in PAD, but if he's not eligible for PAD, he's going to get some assistance in anyway, and they're determined to help him do that, Your Honor. So I think a signature bond would be very appropriate. They're keeping up with him.
All right.
He is local, got a stable address.
All right, defendant's gonna receive $1,000 surety bond. It's gonna be $500 on each count, and he is to stay away from that Texaco. Have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons. Is there anything additional?
Third room.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
We can go to position number 10, Mr. Glass. Third room.
All right, good afternoon. Your case is 24 CR 005312H. You're charged with criminal trespass and battery family violence. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Mr. Howard?
Who is this?
Glass number 10.
You got a revised calendar that just came through too.
Okay.
No.
Glass. Hold on. Lord, I'm slipping today. I don't have it. I'll defer to the state.
Okay. Ms. Allen?
Yes, Your Honor. My information is that out of Georgia, this defendant completed pretrial intervention in 2018 on a marijuana charge. He pled nolo to DUI in Fayetteville, Georgia in 2019, and has an open hit and run from 2024. This is an incident that occurred on the 30th of July, Your Honor. This is a dual arrest. The defendant is charged with battery, family violence, as well as criminal damage, criminal trespass, which is damage. Police were called to a rooming house. The address where they responded is owned by a victim named Algenis Santana, Algenis is the first name, Santana, Santana. He reported that the defendant and his significant other did not live at the location, but were there visiting a friend. When police arrived on the scene, they actually heard a male yelling and then glass shattering, and saw this young man standing next to a window he had just shattered. He was seen to have scratches on his neck, face, and shoulders. He reported that he was in a dispute with his girlfriend and he was trying to get back inside. So intentionally damaging the property of a residence that's not even his rental. He's visiting somewhere and it's someone else's place of residence, and he decided he needed to break a window to get in. The co-defendant, Mrs. McNair, came outside and reported that they had had a dispute. She was upset he was playing video games too loudly, and she admitted striking him and reported that they engaged in a physical altercation at that point. She actually was seen to have visible injuries to her shoulders, lips, and her arms, but then claimed that her injuries were the result of striking herself. The co-defendants lived together at 4629 Ashmore Drive in Forest Park. It is noted in the documentation that both were arrested and transported to Grady for care, but it doesn't look like they were treated. There are no medical issues noted in the jailing information, and there wasn't a delay in their transport. We would be arguing for a $2,000 surety bond, Your Honor. Absolutely no contact with the victim in this case. Nasira McNair, that's Nasira McNair, no contact with the owner of the property, Mr. Santana, and stay away from that location. And I'll pull up the correct location, Your Honor. I apologize.
All right.
No drugs, alcohol, or weapons.
Is Mr. Santana on the line? And the defendant, the cross-defendant McNair was arrested, so would not be on Zoom, correct?
Correct,
Okay.
but is on this calendar.
Okay, understood. All right, Ms. McLeod, is this your client?
It is, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Good
I'll
afternoon.
be asking for a signature bond to the jail for my client. He has no significant criminal history. I believe they're all traffic related. He does not live in Fulton County, he tells me, Your Honor. I think it would be appropriate for him to have a signature bond. We are okay with him staying away from the location and with the persons named as victims. Nothing further.
All right.
The address is 831 Magna Carta Drive, Northwest.
It's quite an address. All right. Defendant is going to receive a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial at level 2. He is to take the 1-day anger awareness course. The breakdown is as follows: 4,000 on the battery, family violence, 1,000 on the criminal trespass. He is to have no contact with the cross defendant and alleged victim or owner of the building, and stay away from that location. Have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. And if I didn't already say it, take the 1-day anger awareness.
You did, Your Honor, but they actually live together, Your Honor. My understanding is that they want to have contact.
Okay, who represents the cross defendant? Is that Mr. McLean? Is that your understanding? We can't hear you, Mr. McLean.
Yeah, do that again. If the host can take me off, for some reason it's on safe driving mode, but I'm at my off. If the host can activate my audio on my phone, that'd be great.
No, that you have to do that yourself. It's not gonna, she can't do that. You'll have to either sign out and then join the audio again and then give your phone or your device permission. But before you do any of that, what is your, what information do you have regarding the contact?
Miss McNair, Your Honor, is local. She was born in Atlanta. She's been here all her lifetime. I believe this is her first arrest. It'd be appropriate to have a signature bond. We have good contact information.
Well, before we get to that, I just want to know what the position was before contact. We're not done with Mr. Glass. So does she wish to have contact with him, to your knowledge?
I do not know if she wants to have contact with him. I don't think that's, let's just ask her directly right here.
Let's not do that. What we'll do is a dual arrest. We'll do no further violent contact, all right?
Very good.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to Mr. Glass. Can we do Ms. McNair now?
Yes, Judge. Good afternoon, Judge Williams. This is the
Yes,
cross
ma'am.
defendant right here at ACDC, Ms. McNair.
All right, Ms. McNair, the ACDC hear that right?
Yes. Yes, they did.
Okay, so Ms. McNair, I'm familiar with the facts of the case. Is she on the calendar?
She's
She must be
actually She's on the add-on. The add-on? Add-on.
Okay, I got it. Position 3. Your case is 24CR005328J. You are charged with battery, felony violence. You understand your rights?
Ma'am.
All right, Ms. Howard, can you confirm her history that it's first arrest?
Correct.
All right, first arrest. I'm aware of the facts. Ms. Allen, would you like to give me a recommendation?
We would agree with the request. This is her first arrest. She did admit to striking her cross defendant and acting quite inappropriately in someone else's residence. But she also had visible injuries. That is part of why we think a stay away, no contact is appropriate, Your Honor. I don't believe these young people are in the best position to determine what is the best interest for their safety and the safety of others. This was, again, a dispute in a residence they don't own while visiting somewhere else. If you can't figure out how to party at the house, you're gonna have to maybe adjust.
Okay, Mr. McLean, in light of the information before me, I'm inclined to give her the same as I gave him. A signature bond with the requirement she take the 1-day anger awareness and have no further violent contact. Do you have any objection or anything additional you'd like to add?
Nothing to add, Your Honor. I've been in contact with her people and I will make sure they understand what anger awareness is.
All right. Defendant's going to receive a $5,000 SOB through pretrial at level 1. She's going to take the 1-day anger awareness, have no further violent contact with the cross defendant, have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons as a condition. Is there anything additional?
Nothing.
All right. Best of luck to you, Ms. McNair. Who's next?
We can go to position number 13, Mr. Palmore.
I'm going to go ahead and sign out and sign back in.
All right. Thank you. Wait, is this your client before you do that, Mr. McLean?
This is Ms. McLeod.
Can we have somebody that's Ms. Kim? Or Ms. McLeod's?
This is
Your Honor,
Ms.
this is a dual arrest case. There is a co-defendant. It's Mr. Gregory Gates. I believe there was some inquiry about whether or not he's on the calendar.
All right, he's on the add-on, but who represents Mr. Palmore?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, so we can do this one. Thank you. Mr.
Your Honor,
Palmore,
but
your case.
is represented by Mr. Mike McLean, Your Honor.
That's okay. We're gonna, by the time we get to him, hopefully Mr. McLean will be back. Thank you. All right, Mr. Palmore, your case is 24CR005325C. In this case, you're charged with possession of drug-related objects and shoplifting. You understand your rights?
Yes.
All right, Mr. McLean, you can go ahead. Oh, he did. You can drop off and try to fix your technology. Ms. McLeod has this case. All right, Mr. Howard, can I have the history, please?
32. He got a shoplifting conviction from this year on probation. This third shoplifting arrest since June 2021. CWAC charge 2021 theft conviction. 2018 burglary conviction, 2017 theft, another 2017 theft, 2016 theft conviction. 2015 criminal mischief conviction and 2012 theft conviction.
All right, understood. Ms. Allen?
Thank you, Your Honor. Pretrial is correct. He has an open shoplifting case from June the 29th of 2024, and he just pled guilty or nolo, on June the 4th from a June the 4th incident in municipal court in Atlanta. He has a significant prior history out of Ohio that includes some thefts, so this could end up being a transfer based on criminal history. This incident happened on the 29th of July at the Walmart. Police were called in East Point to 844 Cleveland Avenue at about 4 p.m. There they were told by loss prevention that this defendant and his co-defendant had been seen going from aisle to aisle, concealing merchandise in their clothing. They were found to be in possession of $221 worth of groceries and clothing and shoes. Those items were recovered, and both individuals actually were found to be in possession of drug objects, specifically crack pipes. We'd be requesting $1,000 surety bond, Your Honor. Stay away from the Walmart, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons, and no contact with the co-defendant, Mr. Gates.
Okay, did he have any actual drugs on him or just the pipe?
I think it was just the pipe with some residue. That's what the warrants state.
All right, thank you. Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 52 years old. He tells me that he has not been employed for some time and he is residentially challenged. I would ask the court to consider, given the nature of what the crime that's alleged against him, to give him a signature bond so he can get out of jail. Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. The defendant is going to receive a $2,000 split bond. It's going to be $1,000 surety on the shoplifting and $1,000 signature through the jail on the possession. He's to stay away from 844 Cleveland Avenue and have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons as a condition. Is there anything additional?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. All right, can we take Mr. Gates?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Gates, your case is 24 CR 00522. I'm sorry, 5322F. You are charged with theft by shoplifting and possession of drug-related objects. Do you understand your rights today?
No.
All right, Mr. Howard.
12 total. You got to open theft by taking 2 counts. It's 24 SC 002335. False statements, 2 counts. 2009 possession of marijuana, no loan.
All right, thank you. Ms. Desiano?
Your Honor, given the defendant's open felony theft case, the state's requesting for Mr. Gates $1,000 surety bond on the shoplifting and an SOB jail for the second count is fine with me. I stay away from the Walmart and no weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and also no further contact with the co-defendant.
All right. Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, I think what was taken, asked Mr. Gates, the Gain detergent and some shoes. Overall, Honor, I've been in touch with his family, and they're going to make sure that he makes court. They're aware of this case, and they're going to be on top of it. I would ask the court to consider a signature bond for him.
All right, defendant is going to receive the same bond, $2,000 split, $1,000 surety on the theft, and $1,000 signature through the jail on the possession. He's to stay away from that Walmart, have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Is there anything additional?
Your Honor, can there be a condition that I have no contact with the co-defendant?
I'm not going to do that at this time.
Okay.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Can we do ACDC number 1, Ms. Barner?
She's one on the add-on?
No, she's on the regular calendar.
Oh, Ms. Barner. Okay. All right, Ms. Barner, your case is 24 CR 005308A. You're charged with 2 counts of affray or fighting. Do you understand your rights? Is that a yes?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Mr. Howard.
Oh, Bonner. Fourth arrest, 2023 suspended license, NOLO. 2018 forgery in the fourth degree, first offender.
All right,
Your Honor, this incident took place September 9th of last year at the Jean Childs Young Middle School located at 3116 Benjamin E. Mays Drive Southwest in Atlanta. The on-call investigator for the school received a phone call from the Atlanta Public Schools alarm response officer, Henry, advising that there were two female students who were fighting on the cheerleading squad after returning to the school from a football game. The defendant in this case is a parent of one of those students and was confronted by there was another arrest in this case, but Shantario Bradley, and that led to a fight between both of them. After that fight was broken up, then the defendant initiated a fight with Miss Bradley again, which again led to a second fight between them. And there was also a third person involved that was a friend of Miss Bradley, and her name is Brittany Malcolm. So all of these parents were fighting. Judge, the state would request a signature bond through pretrial services with the condition that this defendant go through anger awareness classes, as a no further contact with Shantario Bradley or Brittany Malcolm, a stay away from the school, and also a stay away from any football game. These parents don't need to be acting a fool at their kids' football games. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. Thank you.
all right. Before we do that, have we already done the interview with Miss Chansey? Did courtroom one already go into the breakout?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so we'll take that case next. Thank you. All right, I am gonna sound for Miss Bradley or Miss Malcolm. Are those parties here? All right, Miss McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened almost a year ago. My client had a child who was attending the school at the time. Your Honor, my client has no significant criminal history at all, and I think a signature bond through the jail would be more appropriate at this time. She tells me that she was actually attacked by the other parent, and her history, she's 32 years old, does not indicate any kind of history of violence at all. So that is what we'd be asking for, a signature bond through the jail.
All right, defendant is gonna receive a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial services at level 1, $1,500 on each count. She's to have no contact with either of the alleged victims, stay away from Jean Childs Young Middle School, have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons as a condition. Is there anything further?
And nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Barner, best of luck to you. That concludes your case. All right, can we do the interpretation case now?
Judge, I'm sorry, Judge, was that through the jail?
No, through pretrial.
Thank you.
Position number 6, interpret case.
Position number, I'm sorry, which one?
Number 6.
Okay.
6.
All right, Ms. Chansey, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm that you will make an accurate translation today from English to Spanish, Spanish to English to the best of your skills, knowledge, and ability?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
All right, and he's positioned, I'm sorry, what was his name again?
Number 6.
He's number 6. Okay. Good afternoon, sir. Your case is 24 CR 005319E.
Buenas tardes, señor. Su número de caso es 24 CR 0053119E.
In this case, you're charged with driving without a valid license, hit and run, and following too closely.
En este caso, usted tiene los cargos de manejar sin licencia, seguir de muy cerca y chocar y huir.
You have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say regarding the facts of your case can and will be used against you.
Usted tiene el derecho a guardar silencio. Todo lo que diga sobre los hechos de su caso puede y será usado en su contra.
You have a right to an attorney, and Mr. Cook is here to represent you.
Usted tiene el derecho a ser representado por un abogado y el señor Cook está aquí para representarlo.
As you can see, I'm conducting this hearing over the internet as a live stream.
Como ve, estoy eh, haciendo esta audiencia a través de la internet en vivo.
That means any member of the public can watch it. Do you understand your rights and how I'm conducting the hearing today?
Y quiere decir que cualquier miembro del público puede observar esta audiencia. ¿Usted entiende sus derechos y cómo estoy conduciendo esta audiencia?
Sí.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Howard.
Señora Howard.
8 total. Last arrest was June 7th out of Gwinnett. 3 counts of probation and FTA.
One moment, please. Él tiene un total de 8. El último ocurrió el 7 de junio en el condado de Gwinnett. 3 cargos a través de probatoria por incumplimiento de comparecencia.
On probation in Gwinnett for reckless conduct.
También por conducta negligente en el condado de Gwinnett.
Also on probation in Gwinnett for suspended license.
También bajo probatoria por licencia suspendida en el condado de Gwinnett.
2022 shoplifting conviction.
Y en el 2022 una condena de robo de tienda.
2021 illegal alien. And that's all.
Y en el 2021 por inmigrante indocumentado. Yes, and that's all. Esto es todo.
All right, Ms. Desiano.
Your
Señora,
Honor, sorry. Your Honor, this incident took place on July 20th, 2024. Officers responded to a hit and run at Holcomb Bridge Road and Alpharetta Highway in Roswell.
one moment, please. Su señoría, este incidente ocurrió en julio del 2024 y la policía respondió ante un choque y un evento de choque y huida en Holcomb Bridge Road, en Alpharetta Highway.
The officer was able to replay the crash on traffic cameras and flocked his license plate on the vehicle in order to locate the defendant's contact information.
Y el oficial pudo observar la grabación de donde ocurrió el accidente a través de las cámaras y para poder obtener también la información de su placa del vehículo.
The video shows the defendant rear-ending another vehicle and then driving off. The officer spoke with the defendant and he admitted to the hit and run and said he fled because he was nervous.
Se observó que él retrocedió y golpeó a otro vehículo, huyó y el acusado admitió ante el oficial después que él se había huido porque estaba nervioso.
And the officer ran the defendant's name through ACIC and confirmed that he was not licensed.
También el oficial trató de averiguar sus antecedentes y encontró que él no tenía licencia de conducir.
And Your Honor, you heard pretrial state that this defendant has an open FTA and a probation violation. He also has 2 prior convictions for driving without a license and driving while license suspended. I'm not sure if pretrial mentioned, but he also was arrested in Coweta County on May 27th for driving while license suspended as well. That case appears to be open.
Después de todos los cargos de incumplimiento de comparecencia en el condado de Gwinnett, también incumplimiento de probatoria, hay otro arresto que no se mencionó, ocurrido el 27 de mayo, por no tener la licencia de conducir en condiciones requeridas.
The state's requesting a $1,000 surety bond on the driving without valid license and a $500 surety bond on the remaining counts.
I'm sorry, 1,000?
1,000 surety bond on count 1, driving without a valid license, and a $500 surety bond on the remaining 2 counts, the hit and run and following too closely. No driving without a valid license, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
All
La
right.
Fiscalía recomienda una fianza bajo garantía por el cargo 1 de manejar sin licencia de $1,000 y $500 de fianza para los otros 2 cargos de seguir de muy cerca y chocar y huir. Que se prohíbe manejar un vehículo automóvil sin una licencia válida y queda prohibido el uso de drogas, alcohol y armas mientras esté bajo fianza.
All right, Mr. Cook.
Yes,
Señor
Your
Cook.
Honor, we have no objection to the conditions of the bond. We would be seeking a signature bond through pretrial, given his modest income.
Sí, su señoría, no tenemos ninguna objeción con las condiciones de fianza y también solicitamos una fianza bajo firma a través de los servicios previos al juicio debido a la condición financiera modesta del acusado.
All right. Defendant is going to receive a $2,000 split bond broken down as follows.
El acusado recibirá una fianza de $2,000 dividida de la siguiente manera.
All right, it's going to be $500 signature bond through the jail on count 1.
Va a ser $500 de multa bajo firma, perdón, de fianza bajo firma a través de la cárcel
It'll be $1,000 surety bond on count 2, the hit and run.
y una fianza de $1,000 bajo garantía.
And on the following too closely, it'll be a $500 signature bond through the jail.
Y $500 por el tercer cargo, una fianza bajo garantía a través de la cárcel.
Defendant is not to drive unless he has a valid license.
El acusado no puede conducir sin una licencia válida.
He's to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
Se prohíbe el uso de drogas, alcohol y armas mientras esté bajo fianza.
All right, that concludes his case. Anything from state or defense?
¿Algo más de la fiscalía o la defensa?
Nothing from the state.
Nada más.
All right, best of luck to you. So you have a question? What is your question?
¿Cuál es su pregunta, señor?
Quiero saber si entonces, si me van a dejar en libertad hoy o tengo que pagar una cantidad hoy para poder salir.
I just want to know if I will be able to leave today or I have to pay a physical amount to be able to leave.
You'll have to pay to make a certain amount. What I'm going to ask is that Mr. Cook go back into the breakout very quickly, and Ms. Chancey as well, just to explain the process to him so we don't take up any more of the court's time. All right?
Vamos a ir a usted tendrá que pagar algo, pero vamos a ir de nuevo a la reunión anterior para que su abogado le explique a través mío.
All right, so go back into that breakout really quickly. We'll keep going. And then Ms. Chancey, I'll dismiss you once you return. All right? All right, who do we have next?
Position number 12, Mr. Matthews.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Matthews. Your case is 24 CR 005326J. You're charged with possession of marijuana and committing certain acts in a bus station. You understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard.
Fifth arrest, 2018, 2 counts of domestic violence out of Alabama. Public order crime as well. 2014 assault dismissed, 07 battery trespass NOLO, has a hold out of Columbus, I think. That's all.
All right, Ms. Allen.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is an incident that occurred on the 29th of July, specifically on the Wayside Trackway of MARTA down at 5 Points, 30 Alabama Street. The defendant was observed walking inside the tunnel where there are signs posted as it's a restricted area. You're not supposed to be walking in there. He actually called the police and told them he was walking on the track. He caused a 20-minute delay in service for northbound trains at MARTA. This was at 9:38 p.m. on the 29th, entering in and remaining on a restricted area of the MARTA station track. He does have an active warrant out of Columbus, Georgia, issued April of 2024. We'd be asking for $1,000 good bond, stay away from all MARTA locations, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Allen. Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, the Alabama matters that are open are from 2018. So can that address him out of their way, and there was a delay. But I asked the court, he's going to be working Washington. He pretty solid on getting that job. He just has to switch his driver's license over. We'd ask the court to consider a signature bond, Your Honor.
All right, is that you finished, Mr. McLean? I think I lost you for a moment.
Yes, Your Honor. Heard the part about the job coming up.
I did. All right. Defendant is going to receive a $6,000 signature bond through the jail, 3,000 count 1, 3,000 count 2. He is to stay away from the MARTA location, have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons.
Thank you.
Is there anything additional?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Number 11, Ms. Hughes.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon, Ms. Hughes. Your case 24 CR 005314G. You're charged with battery, family violence. You understand your rights?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Howard.
10 total. 2023 suspended license. 2016 battery DV arrest. 2013 and 12 FTA. 2011 FTA. And a 2011 simple battery conviction.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Allen?
Thank you, Your Honor. This is an incident from July the 30th. The victim in this case, his name is Vernon Colley, Colley. If you would sound for him, just in case he has decided to join us. This is an incident that occurred at a duplex. So these individuals live in a duplex. They live in an upstairs portion of the duplex. The defendant in this case struck Mr. Colley in the face with her hands, causing him to have a bloody nose. They lived together at the location where this occurred. The argument that they were having turned physical because the victim was actually trying to take the defendant's belongings outside. She initially denied having any contact with the victim, claiming that he'd been assaulted maybe while he had left, after he'd left the location. He'd actually gone downstairs to a neighbor, and that neighbor was interviewed and reported that the victim came downstairs with a bloody nose and reported he'd just been struck. At that point, the defendant did admit that she struck him. There were 2 children in the home, but it's unclear if they witnessed anything. The victim was transported to Grady, and he reports that his nose is broken, but we don't have any documentation of that. We did speak with him today. This young woman has been arrested for battery, family violence. In the past, it was reduced to simple battery, and that was a conviction in Cobb County in 2021. The victim in this case says that they were in a relationship and living together. He would like no contact. They share no children, and he would like her to stay away. We'd be requesting a one-time escort back to the location, and I apologize. I'll pull that up now. The state's request would be for a $2,000 good bond and no contact with the victim, Mr. Last name Colley, Colley, first name Vernon. If the and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons.
I
That's all.
have the address as 375 Kimberly Court.
Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, before we do that, Miss Chansey and Mr. Cook came back for a minute. Are we good?
Yes, we're good. She probably needs to say, I don't think there's anyone else needing any.
All right, Miss Chansey, are you still here? Okay, she's gone for a moment. We'll do that in a minute. Is Mr. Coley present on the Zoom conference and wishes to make a statement? If so, please turn on your camera, raise your right hand. Okay, hearing none. Who represents this defendant?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. McLean, please proceed.
Your Honor, I'm going to ask the court to consider a signature bond for the reason that I spoke to both of her brothers and that they are very determined to make sure. I noted to them that she had an FTA that I said would be pointed out by the clerk, one or two in the past. And they assured me that as family members and close brothers, they're very close, they will make sure that she does not miss court. So for that reason, Your Honor, I would ask Your Honor consider the signature bond along with the nature of the offense.
All right.
What time escorted trip to get the belongings would be appropriate? I agree with that.
All right, defendant's gonna receive a $1,500 surety bond. She's to have no contact with Mr. Coley, stay away from that location. She can return one time with a member of law enforcement to get any items. She's to have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons. And as a reminder, she'll be reset to the all-purpose calendar on the 13th. All right,
What was the amount, Your Honor?
1,500.
Okay.
All right, best of luck to you. Who do we have next?
We can go to position number 14, Mr. Rashid.
All right, Mr. Rashid, your case is 24 CR 00532-4A. You're charged with 1 count simple battery, family violence, 1 count simple assault, family violence. You understand, right? All right, Mr. Howard.
Yeah, the 2018 battery dismissed. Before that was in, I think, 1992.
All right, thank you, Ms. Allen.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is an incident that occurred on the 30th of July. The location is 2506 Wrangler Drive, Southwest. The victim in this case is the defendant's wife and his daughter, a 12-year-old juvenile. Her initials are BR, the juvenile. The wife in this case is Angela Pendleton. I believe she is joining us on the Zoom, if you could sound for her in a few moments. Police were called to the location, and on the scene, they encountered the defendant who said he wasn't sure why they were there. His wife, Angela Pendleton, then came outside and reported that she'd been the 911 caller and that she and her daughter had been hiding in an upstairs closet until police came. She reported that the defendant became angry and kicked their dog violently after it peed on the floor, causing them to be fearful. He then grabbed the 12-year-old daughter by her shirt and slammed her into a wall multiple times. The victim, wife, and the child reported that they are kept in a section of the residence and are not allowed to have the freedom to move around, including not being able to go to the kitchen to prepare food. And the victim, Mrs. Pendleton, reported that the defendant was making threats to harm the family while this incident was going on if they were not going to continue to abide by his rules. Eventually, the defendant admitted that he grabbed his daughter, but only because her attire was inappropriate for being outside. I would note that there was an order for protection obtained by this victim, Your Honor, in November of 2023. It was issued for a 3-month period, and there were 2 hearings that were status checks because this defendant was supposed to be completing anger management. The final order also strangely says he has to stay in the downstairs of the apartment or the residence where they live and stay away from the victim, Mrs. Pendleton, and his juvenile child. So we'd be asking, Your Honor, for stay away from the location, 2506 Wrangler Drive, Southwest. The only reason we're not asking for an aggravated stalking charge, Your Honor, is because some magistrate decided this situation only warranted a 3-month order, and that these people should live separately in their own house as a way to protect the victim. That's not appropriate. So we'd ask for stay away from the location, have absolutely no contact with Ms. Pendleton or the daughter that they share, whose initials are BR. I would note police also spoke to her. The statements about what is occurring and what has been occurring and what occurred on the day of July the 30th were corroborated by both individuals. We have been in touch with Mrs. Pendleton. She reported that verbal and physical abuse to herself and her daughter is ongoing. Police have been called numerous times. They are confined to one room and are extremely afraid of the defendant. When he is there, they're not allowed to go into the kitchen or anywhere else, and she's in fear for her safety and the safety of her daughter. We'd be asking for a $5,000 good bond, Your Honor, no contact whatsoever, and again, stay away from the location. Thank you.
All right, I'm sounding now for Ms. Pendleton. If you'd like to make a statement, please raise your right hand and unmute. You're not required to make a statement though, but if you wish to, this is your opportunity.
She stated everything that was
Oh, wait.
needed to be
You need to
said.
be placed under oath. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear in the firm testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right, put your hand down. Now I'm going to give you some instructions. Whether or not you agree with Ms. Allen is not what I'm most concerned with today. What I'm most concerned with is any concerns you have for your safety and whether you wish to have contact with the defendant. In light of those instructions, what would you? Okay.
I do not wish to have contact with the defendant.
All right. And is there anything else you'd like to let me know?
No, everything was stated is correct.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate you coming to court and making that statement. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 73 years old and they have been legally married for about 15 years. And he has retired and he resides with Social Security income. He's qualified for public defender services. And Your Honor, I believe that his wife is also not working as of now because of past car accidents. So there's no one who can actually bond him out. He has 3 years of college education for the industrial engineering. He was recommended for UJR indeed by pretrial services. So we would like to request for signature on bond through pretrial level 1, and we have no objection to no further contact and stay away from incident location. Thank you.
All right. Defendant is going to receive a $4,000 signature bond at level 2 through pretrial, which is going to be broken down 3,000 count 1, 1,000 count 2. He's to have no contact with Ms. Pendleton, stay away from that location, and have no contact with the minor child BR. Of course, contact can be revisited at a later date. He's to stay away from that location. He can return one time with law enforcement to get any items. He's to have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons, and he is going to take the 1-day anger awareness course. Is there anything additional?
Nothing further from defense, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Number 3, Coleman.
I can't speak to this.
No, you gotta see in the back row.
All right. All right, good afternoon. Your case is 24 CR 005310C. You are charged with obstruction. Do you understand your rights today?
Yes,
ma'am.
All right. Mr. Howard?
Can y'all mute
Okay, let me
courtroom
mute
two?
courtroom 2 for a second. What's your, Mr. Howard, please proceed.
Third arrest, 2010 suspended license dismissed. 2009 furnishing alcohol dismissed. A jail is the recommendation.
Can't do jail for obstruction anymore. All right, Ms. Desiano?
Your Honor, this incident took place on July 29th of 24. Officers responded to what was a domestic dispute initially at 7810 Flyaway Road in South Fulton. Upon arrival, the officer made contact with the caller, whose name is Larry Smith. He shares a child with the defendant. He called because the defendant showed up and wouldn't leave. The defendant was recently evicted from this address. The officer gave the defendant plenty of opportunity to leave peacefully. She was acting irate and used physical force to prevent the officer who was trying to escort her off the property. And she tried to run when the officer had his hands on her. Your Honor, this defendant's history is old. The state's requesting a signature bond through pretrial. I understand this is just an obstruction charge, Your Honor, but given the circumstances, I would also ask for him to stay away from the 7810 Flyaway Road in South Fulton. No further contact with Mr. Smith, and no weapons, drugs, or alcohol allowed on bond.
All right. Is this your case, Mr. McLean?
It's
No,
for,
this is mine, Your Honor. Sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Cook, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 32 years old. Has lived in the Atlanta area her whole life. It is a the obstruction case. Understand that. We would be seeking a signature bond at through pretrial. She lives at 7810 Flyaway Road, and we would object to a stay away from that location.
Is your client employed, Mr. Cook?
Yes, she works. Well, I'm sorry, she's in school at the moment. Believe it's she's getting a degree in some area of medical assistance.
All right. Defendant's going to receive a $5 cash bond. She is to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Is there anything additional?
Nothing from the state.
All right. Best of luck to you. Who do we have next?
Judge, we're
Position
completed here.
number
I mean, CDC, thank you.
2. We can go to position number 2. Mr.
I'm sorry,
Blanc.
my computer froze for a second. What'd you say, ACDC?
No, I was just saying, we're completed here at ACDC. Thank you,
All
Judge.
right, take care. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you, you too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Then we keep going straight down, keep going straight down. We get to, Lincoln Hospital.
All right, who do we have next?
Position number 2, Mr. Blanc.
All right, sir, your case is 24 CR 005309Y. In this case, you're charged with criminal trespass. You understand your rights?
Yes, Sean.
All right, Mr. Howard.
52. 2022 ag assault on probation for ag assault ag battery. That's 10 SC 95204. They gave him a 20-year sentence in 2011 for that. 2018 battery DV trespass conviction, 2018 probation, 2017 simple assault conviction, 2014 battery conviction, 2013 ag assault conviction. Another ag assault ag battery conviction from 05. That's
All
it.
right. All right, thank you. Ms. Desiano?
Your Honor, this incident took place on July 29th of this year at 3563 Carriage Way in East Point. This was a domestic dispute. The victim in this case is Melissa Cruz. She is the defendant's roommate. She advised that the defendant was drunk and he was demanding that she get out of the house. She went and locked herself in her bedroom, and he kicked the door in and cracked the door and damaged the door handle. Our office hasn't been in touch with her today, Your Honor. This defendant's criminal history is egregious. He has several convictions for aggravated assault against several different victims. He tends to assault different people every time this happens. He has, like they said, he's on probation, and I mean, he has an aggravated assault conviction every couple years going back to the 90s, Your Honor. The previous bond orders in several of his cases note what a dangerous individual he is. I understand this is a criminal trespass, Your Honor, but there is a serious concern for this victim's safety and that she lives in the same household with him. The state would request a $2,500 surety bond, no further contact with Ms. Cruz, a stay away from the incident location, anger management, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond, and if the court can sound for Ms. Cruz.
All right, is Ms. Cruz present, wishes to make a statement? All right, Mr. Cook, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 51 years old. He's lived in this area his entire life. It's my understanding from my client that he actually owns this location and that Ms. Cruz rents from him. I understand if she's been there a while, then she has certain rights. We would be seeking signature bond at whatever level the court deemed appropriate. We would like, for the violent contact, we would object to a stay away since this is his home, and apparently, from what my client tells me, he is buying this property. So nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, defendant's gonna receive $1,000 surety bond. Can everyone hear me? Am I frozen?
I can hear you.
All right, I froze for a minute. All right, defendant's gonna receive $1,000 surety bond. He's to have no contact with the alleged victim, and he is to stay away from that location should she reside there. If she's gone, he can return. He can return with law enforcement to make that determination. Additionally, he needs to have no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons as a condition. Is there anything additional?
Nothing from the state.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. What do we have next?
Position number 15.
All right, good afternoon. Your case is 24 CR 005323H. In this case, you're charged with simple battery, family violence. You understand your rights? All right, Mr. Howard.
Number 15, you say?
Yes.
Oh, 11 total. Last arrest was June 16th, simple battery DV. Before that was March 29th, simple battery DV. You gave him the March 29th signature bond, I think. Somehow
Okay.
I want to say you did. Somehow he ended up with another pretrial bond last month. But
was that me?
No, no, of course not. 2023 trespass, 2018 obstruction conviction, probation. So he got a $7,000 pretrial bond. So I'm about to revoke both of those, and it'll be whatever you add on.
Understood. Miss Allen?
Thank you, Your Honor. I think part of the issue for Mr. Schroeder is that he is entered into the jailing system, the booking system, under his same name, just spelled differently. So he's not connected when you pull up his file. His booking today is not connected to the booking from March. But pretrial is correct. He currently has an open case. We'll see. I have to consult my notes because it's a little complicated. So on March the 29th of 24 this year, he was arrested for simple battery, an assault on the same victim. That case is 24 CR 001-505C. Bond order requires absolutely no contact and a one-time law enforcement escort to the location. That was your bond, Your Honor. He then in June, in 24 CR 003-847H, was arrested again for another simple battery, family violence on the same victim, and now has a second bond where he is required to have no contact and stay away from the location. The location is 754 Charles Allen Avenue. The victim's name is Ashley, A-S-H-L-E-E Smith. I would note that between the two bonds and two arrests of this gentleman before we even get to today, She was arrested for a battery against him and is also out on a bond requiring no contact and to stay away from said location. So both individuals are in violation of the order of the court. She currently has an open case. And we'll probably have a bond revocation filed. I'm guessing that would be appropriate at this point. Her case is 24 CR 001-895A. She's actually set for a final plea on August the 19th in Roth and just failed to appear for a calendar in that courtroom. So I'm not sure why she doesn't have a warrant. The police were called to the incident location on the 18th of June, Your Honor. So this is the delayed arrest. This defendant has been avoiding arrest for a period of time, and he was transported here from Gwinnett County. The victim, Mrs. Smith, reported that her boyfriend had returned to the location. This would have been less than 24 hours, I think, from his release on the June 4th assault. So he is clearly in violation and knows he was not supposed to return to the location. She reported he returned to the location and started a fight with her, used his key to get inside and tackled her to the ground. She told police on the scene in June that he strangled her. She also expressed fear. She reported that she had asked a friend to come over. She named a gentleman named Mr. Williams and reported that that person had witnessed this strangulation. It's not clear in the police documentation whether they spoke to that individual. The defendant fled the scene before police arrived. He had just been released on bond, obviously. She was interviewed by a DV detective on July the 2nd, Your Honor. And I would say diminished or walked backwards a little bit on her July the 2nd interview. She said she was just grabbed by the neck and declined to say that she was strangled at that point. Warrant was obviously issued and he was arrested in Gwinnett. I would say that there is also history out of Gwinnett against this young woman from September of 2023. There's an active warrant that states September the 20th of 23, he was captured on camera in the front porch, spray painting on the front door, the ceiling of the porch, and the garage door at that location. Obscenities, pictures of penises, and statements like Ashley Smith is a whore and prostitutes live here. So when we spoke to Mrs. Smith, who I would argue and I would counsel should probably not speak since you're also a defendant, Mrs. Smith, she reported that they are in a relationship and they live together. They share no children. She now denies the events in the warrants. I can't say I'm surprised, and says the defendant never choked her, but put his hands up to block her. And they only called the police because she was scared and she didn't know what to do. It seems like maybe the 5th or 6th time that would be not what we say, that we were just scared and didn't know what to do. She does say that there was this previous incident in June and that the defendant was ordered to have no contact. She's aware of the no contact order that she has, and she's aware that the defendant is supposed to have no contact and basically says she's not going to follow the rules of the court or the orders of the court, and she doesn't want to press charges. Your Honor, we would argue today for the simple battery family violence, which is the 3rd since March on this victim with flagrant disrespect for the court, a $5,000 good bond, no contact, and to stay away from the location, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. Again, there are 2 open cases against this young woman with clear orders of the court. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Allen. All right, Ms. Smith, if you'd like to make a statement, I do have to place you under oath. You have to raise your right hand. I'm going to caution you, the state is listening, so anything you say on this recording can be used against you at other proceedings and may affect open cases that you have. So I caution you to tell me, to make that statement with those statements in mind. Do you swear and affirm testimony you give today be true to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, very briefly, what would you like to tell me?
So my no contact term is no violent contact with Kevin Schroeder. And that's that. And then I was going to request if at all possible, could we do no violent contact with one another? We've recently just found out that I'm pregnant and we're just trying to make it work out. It's just really complicated with all this court stuff. Like she said, when you get tied in the system, it's like a revolving door. So we don't know what to do. And yeah, it's not that we're trying to be disrespectful or anything like that. It's just like we would appreciate it if the contacts were just no violent contact.
All right, understood. Thank you. All right, Ms. McLeod, this is your case?
It is, Your Honor. My client is 41 years old. He tells me that he is self-employed as an artist, and he's also a student. I believe he's a junior at Georgia State University. I did not hear any significant criminal history for my client, so I would ask the court to consider giving him a signature bond. If the court is disinclined to do so, I would ask the court for a minimum bond for him, something that he'll be able to make so he can get out of jail and get back to his work and to his school, because he only has about a year now left before he graduates from GSU. Nothing further on. And of course, we would definitely prefer no further violent contact between himself and Ms. Smith. I was able to speak with Ms. Smith, and she indicated that that would be a preference, Your Honor. And also, they're expecting a child. Nothing further.
All right, just to confirm, Mr. Howard, Ms. Allen, my prior, not mine, but the other bond orders were no contact whatsoever?
Yes, Your Honor, and I did just pull up Ms. Smith's bond order again because I did do it previously, and it says no further contact.
Okay.
Period. And that was issued on April the 15th by Judge Morrow. She has a $3,000 SOB through pretrial services right now.
All right. Defendant is going to receive a $5,000 surety bond. He's to have no contact with the alleged victim consistent with prior orders. Stay away from that incident location. Have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons as a condition. Is there anything additional?
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. That concludes that case. And to you, ma'am. Best of luck to you. Who do we have next?
Position 4, Culberson.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what number.
I believe you said 4, Your Honor.
Number 4.
All right, good afternoon. Your case is 24 CR 005313G. You're charged with battery family violence with the offense date of August 7th of 2023. You understand your rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Howard.
Had a phone call. Who was that?
Number
Who was this? I'm sorry.
Number 4.
Roberson. I got first arrest for him.
Thank you. Ms. Allen?
Your Honor, this is my case. This incident
sorry.
happened, it's okay. August 7th of last year at the Best American Hotel at 5021 Old National Highway. The victim in this case is Newville Dry. She advised that she and her child's father were fighting and he bit her finger. She had a bite mark on her finger and there was visible blood. This is his first arrest, Your Honor. The state's requesting a signature bond through pretrial services. No contact with Miss Dry. A stay away from the hotel and a stay away from her residence if it's not the hotel. Taking complete anger awareness, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. And we have not been in touch with Miss Dry today if the court can stand for her this time.
All right, is Ms. Dry present and wishes to make a statement? All right, Mr. McLean, is this your case? We can't hear you.
This is mine, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Oh, Mr. Cook, I'm inclined to give your client a signature bond through pretrial at level 1 with a no contact and a stay away and require 1-day anger awareness. Are there any objections to that?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. Defendant is going to receive a $2,500 signature bond at level 1 through pretrial services. He's going to take the 1-day anger awareness course, have no contact with Ms. Dry, stay away from the incident location, have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons as a condition. Best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Your Honor, they do share 2 children.
Okay, so he can coordinate transfer of the children through a third party.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Number 16. Come on, sir.
All right, Ms. Stanford, your case is 24 CR 005318C. You're charged with theft by shoplifting. You understand your rights?
Yes,
All right. All right, Mr. Howard.
36. Last arrest was on the 2nd of this month. Possession of drug-related objects. On probation for that. 2019 probation, 2018 burglary conviction, 2018 probation, 2015 robbery conviction, 2014 theft by receiving conviction, 07 burglary conviction.
All right, thank you.
Is this Mr.
Ms. Howard?
Stanford?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Your Honor, this is an incident that occurred on the 30th of July at the Kroger at 590 Cascade Avenue Southwest. The defendant on scene was observed taking food and candy. The amount of merchandise that he took totaled $100.49. We'd be asking for a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial with some conditions, although if he is currently out on a bond right now, we would ask that to be a surety bond, Your Honor. Stay away from Walmart, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Kim.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is, he has a very, very serious medical condition that he needs a lot of medical attention immediately, and he has to go to restroom almost every other 10 or 20 minutes. So we would strongly ask for signature on bond through a pretrial, no matter what level it may be. He has applied for disability. However, there is no income, and he's also taking care of his father, who is going through a very serious disease as well. He has up to 9th grade of education, and he does not have a GED. And because of his past history, he was, in and out of the jail a lot. He has a very hard time. We would like to request for a signature on bond. Thank you.
Give me one moment.
How can you go to Walmart and steal and you take care of somebody and you have to go to the bathroom every 10 to 15 minutes? I don't see anything noted in the jail.
I'm sorry, Mr. Howard, what was
documentation about any medical issues.
No, what was his last arrest? What was the date of his last arrest?
Hold on. I got July 2nd. Possession of drug-related objects.
All right. All right. Defendant is going to receive a $500 surety bond. He's to stay away from that location, have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons. He will be reset to the all-purpose calendar on the 13th.
Was
All
this
right.
location Kroger or Walmart?
That's a good question. I don't know. Where was
Kroger? It's the Kroger at 590 Cascade Avenue Southwest.
Okay, I thought I heard you say Walmart. Okay.
Sorry.
Your Honor,
Yeah.
could we briefly revisit position 4, just briefly, Mr. Coverson? I've slipped up into
the signature bond through pretrial.
Yes, just one of the conditions is there was a stay away. I wasn't sure if it was a stay away from the Oakley Road address. I talked to the briefly with the alleged victim, who does not live there anymore. So if he could confirm that she's not there anymore, could he go back?
All right, we'll confirm. He can return with law enforcement to determine whether or not the victim is there.
Yes, I don't ever want to revisit a signature bond.
All right. If the victim is not there, he can return. If the victim is still there, he needs to stay away.
Thank you.
All right. That concludes that case, and best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Your Honor, position number 16, Stanford, who is very sick. I was wondering if he can do $50 cash bond, because a $500 coupon, there's no bond company that will actually help him to get out of the jail because it's too low, and yet it is too much for him to pay for. So can we
What
do
was the amount of
$100 surety bond? Can we change that to $50 cash bond?
what was the amount that was taken again? What was the value of the amount taken?
$100.
Okay, we can do a $50 cash bond.
Thanks, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
That's 50 for who?
16.
16.
I'm having some connectivity issues all of a sudden. I hope you all do not lose me.
Your Honor, I have a client.
All right, who do we have?
Parents.
All right, what position was that, Ms. McLeod?
It's towards the end. It's Mr. Watson, Hassani Watson. It is position 18.
All right. And what becomes of add-on 1? Is add-on 1 not coming?
Add-on 1 is a waiver.
When I go back to court, yeah.
No announcement for add-on 1?
Add-on 1 is mine and it's a waiver.
Okay, let's do Ms. McLeod's waiver first. Hold on. What about position 5? Does anybody know have a position 5?
Position number 5 is a waiver. Y'all attorneys need to speak up for your clients now.
All right, we'll do position 18, 24 CR 005315J, in which defendant is charged with battery. Mr. Howard, can I have that history?
1 moment. This is 4th arrest, 2023 burglary. Got an open trespass out of DeKalb County. On probation in DeKalb for burglary, 1st degree. They gave him 5 years back in February. So he's on first offender probation for that. Couple of trespass arrests from 2022. I think he's homeless.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Allen, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. This is actually an incident that occurred in the jail on the 25th of July. This gentleman and another gentleman who were on first appearance that day in front of the court were engaged, I guess, in some kind of an altercation. This could actually be a felony once we're able to get some more information, Your Honor. Mr. Watson had gone to first appearance on the 25th for criminal trespass, where he tried to enter the home of a stranger. It was caught on ring camera. He is trying to force the door open in that case. He has an open probation case in DeKalb County for burglary and a criminal trespass that I don't see a disposition on. It's alleged based on the jailing incidents. There's actually been a second incident at the jail where he assaulted another individual by striking them in the head. But in front of you is an assault on Jonathan Haver, or Hawver, while in cell 167. He struck this gentleman multiple times, causing lacerations to the right eye and left cheek. He had to be seen by medical. When asked about what was going on, the defendant said, "I was hungry and I wanted a sandwich." We would be requesting a mental health or BHET, whatever would make the most sense at this point, and we would request a $10,000 good bond, Your Honor. Absolutely no contact and stay away. I guess you can't stay away from the jail. No contact, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. There's clearly an issue here.
I bet you they would like to stay away from the jail. All right. And the victim here is another inmate, so there's that.
He actually got out that day.
Oh, he's out. Is he
had
on
to
this
do
Zoom
his
conference?
first appearance with visible injuries, and his mother lost it when she observed him on the Zoom.
All right. Is Mr. Hayward on this Zoom conference by any chance? Okay.
We haven't been able to get in touch with him yet today.
All right. Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor. We do not object to the mental health evaluation. We believe that may be appropriate under the circumstances. My client does deny that he attacked anyone, Your Honor.
Okay. Defendant is going to receive a $3,000 surety bond. He's to have no contact with that alleged victim, and he's going to undergo an MHET. Ms. McLeod, can you submit the MH order? Or
Yes.
are you able to do that? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
And of course, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
Thank
All
you.
right. Does that conclude your business, Mr. Cloud?
It does, Your Honor.
Take care. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you too.
All right, we're now going to take up position 5, waiver 24 CR 005317B, in which defendant is charged with obstruction, possession, public drunkenness, and trespass. Mr. Howard, can I have the history for position 5?
Sure. $21 total. Got open shoplifting in DeKalb County and trespass. On probation in Fulton, possession of marijuana, trespass. As of June, that's 24 CR 003744Y. Also open, on probation for ferry bays and trespass obstruction. It's 22 CR 008207Y. The booking shows a resident of Dallas, Texas. 2018 assault conviction, 2016 burglary of a vehicle conviction, 2015 burglary of habitation conviction, and a 2011 theft conviction.
All right, Ms. Desiano.
Your Honor, this incident happened at the Ashby MARTA station at 65 Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard on July 29th. MARTA police witnessed the defendant was smoking marijuana, asked him to turn over his marijuana, and he refused. He was also drinking at the time and was drunk and slurred speech. He was displaying aggressive behavior and boisterous behavior. He resisted arrest, and once his identity was verified, it was confirmed that this individual has a permanent MARTA ban. Your Honor, the two cases, all of his arrests in Georgia are related to, with exception of the shoplifting case that's open in DeKalb, all of his Georgia arrests are related to being arrested by MARTA for being on the property for trespass. He just pled to 2 of the cases that are in Fulton County. Mr. Howard gave you those case numbers, where he was sentenced to 12 months of probation and a requirement for him to stay away. Of course, in all of his bond orders for those cases as well, he's been ordered to stay away. He's been ordered to stay away from MARTA several times, and for whatever reason, continues to return back to MARTA. Your Honor, his latest bond order from an incident that happened on June of this year, Judge Law gave him a $500 good bond. Given that this is now a subsequent offense, I would ask for a $1,000 good bond on the criminal trespass, and a $500 good bond on the remaining counts. Another stay away from MARTA, and no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. McLean.
No, Your Honor,
This is fine, Your Honor.
All right, I'm sorry, Mr. Cook, please proceed.
No problem. Your Honor, my client is residentially challenged, so he's homeless and has no income. We would be seeking I'm not sure about SB 63, but I think we would be seeking a signature bond through some level of pretrial that the judge deems appropriate. Beyond that, we would just leave it up to the court's discretion.
All right. Defendant is going to receive $1,000 surety bond, broken down $250 on each count, and he needs to stay away from MARTA. And he will be reset to the all-purpose calendar on August the 13th. No alcohol, drugs, or weapon.
Thank you.
All right, that concludes that case. We're gonna now go to position 8, 24 CR 005211G, in which Christopher Fanning is charged with battery, terroristic acts, and criminal trespass. Mr. Howard.
14 total. Got an open battery for evasion. It's 24 CR 000797G. On probation for ag assault, 23 SC 1877921. Got another ag assault, 16 SC 148564. 2013 robbery, burglary, first offender. 2016 criminal damage to property conviction. 2022 simple battery against police conviction. 2016 ag assault, possession of a knife during a commission conviction. 2024 robbery, trespass. 2024 battery, and he got a probation hold. He got a lot.
Okay.
Your Honor, this incident,
Go ahead,
took
please
place
proceed.
on the 27th of July at the 5 Point SMARTA station. This is an unprovoked attack on a random MARTA patron. The victim in this case is Antonio Rax. He was punched in the face. Pretty good. The officer observed that he had a nice big swollen bruise on his cheek. He also told the defendant, the defendant also told the victim that he was going to shoot him. The officers got involved when they realized that the defendant has had several active MARTA suspensions as well. Your Honor, the open battery case that he has involves a different victim, similar situation, an unprovoked attack on a MARTA patron. Your Honor, this defendant has very wide range of violent history. I'm concerned there may be an MH issue here. The state is requesting a $5,000 good bond in this case. No further contact with the victim, a stay away from all MARTA, anger management, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and an MHET or a BHET. We have not been in touch with Mr. Rax today. If the court can sound for him at the appropriate time. Thank you.
All right, is Mr. Rax present and wishes to make a statement? All right, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 30 years old, and our social worker actually also went to visit him after I met him yesterday, and he is reset twice for medical reasons. We do agree with MHET. We went through BHET by social worker, and they recommended for MHET. So that's what we're gonna go for. And I already prepared all the forms to be submitted, and that's about it. And I don't think $5,000 is something that he can ever pay for. He has nobody who can ever bond him out. So even $1 cash bond will be like a no bond for him as of this condition right now. However, we would like to request for signature on bond through pre-trial, very whichever level your honors seem to find it appropriate, or maximum $1,000 good bond. Thank you.
All right, defendant is gonna receive a $2,000 surety bond, $1,000 on the battery, and $500 on each of the remaining counts. He's to stay away from that location, have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and have no contact with Mr. Rax. Is there anything additional?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
All right.
Yes.
All right, hearing none. Oh, the add-on, you have to do that one. Is that a waiver, position one?
Yes, the position one add-on is a waiver.
All right. We'll take up 24 CR 005329G. In this case, defendant is charged with failure to use a crosswalk, obstruction, criminal trespass, and simple battery. Do you understand your rights? I'm sorry, oh Lord. Mr. Howard?
Benton, 16
It's
adult
been a
arrest.
day, forgive
I
me.
know.
Last
Go ahead,
arrest
Mr.
was
Howard, I'm sorry.
16 adult arrest. Last arrest was July 20th for simple battery. 2024 FTA, 2024 trespass obstruction. Also has a probation violation from this year. 2023 simple battery, 2023 trespass conviction, 2023 trespass obstruction conviction, 2022 probation, 2022 trespass conviction, 2022 trespass nolo. Blunt, y'all can leave him on the floor because he out on pretrial. So I'm about to revoke that one too.
All right.
That's
Ms.
3,000.
Allen?
This is Ms. Desiano's case. I believe this is a co-defendant. You've already heard the facts, Your Honor.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. It's Mr. Gates.
Oh, yes. We've already done this one.
No, this is position one, Mr. Benson.
Oh, okay. I apologize. There was another add-on calendar.
Your Honor, I have a question. Who was the defendant we were doing before this case? What position was that?
Mr. Fannin, I have Mr. Benton now.
Yeah.
Add-on one on the new add-on.
Right. That's mine. I'll do that.
Okay.
I think they're asking about Mr. Fannin.
Yeah, Mr. Fanning got a $2,000 surety, 1,000 on the battery and 500 on the remaining.
Okay, thank you.
In Your Honor, this incident occurred on the 29th of July. The charges in this case are not crossing the street in a crosswalk, obstruction, misdemeanor, criminal trespass, and a simple battery on a law enforcement officer. The defendant was observed walking in the street in and out of traffic at a 7:05 p.m. At Boulevard Northeast and Edgewood Avenue. He was told by police officers to stop, and he failed to comply with that directive. He swung at officers. That's the obstruction. He intentionally hit his head over and over again into the side of the vehicle, damaging the side panel of the patrol car. And then he used his head, once he'd been placed in handcuffs, to strike Officer Augustine in the mouth. There is a substantial history, including a current failure to appear out of DeKalb. We would request a $2,000 SOB through pretrial with a condition for a BHET, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons.
But he already had a pretrial bond that got revoked, correct?
It's about to get revoked, yes. So that ain't gonna work.
So we'd ask for a surety and a BHET. I think the defense would join in that.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Cook?
Nothing else, Your Honor.
All right. Defendant is going to receive a, oh, shoot, how many? There's 4 counts, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So defendant's going to receive a $4,000 split bond. On the failure to use a crosswalk, that's 1,000 signature through the jail. On the obstruction, that's 1,000 surety. On the criminal trespass, that's 1,000 signature through the jail. And on the simple battery, that's 1,000 surety. And he's to have no further violent contact with that officer. Is there anything additional?
So that's total 2,000 SOB through jail, 2,000 surety and a BHET, and no further contact with the officer.
Yes, and the BHET, correct.
Thank you.
All right. I believe we've concluded the entire calendar. Ms. Bridgewater, will you please review it for me?
Yes, ma'am, I will. Once again, the reset date for the SAP calendar is going to be August 13th. Position number 1 is reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 2 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. Position 3 is going to the SAP calendar with a $5 cash bond. 4, reset further notice with a $2,500 SOB through pretrial. 5 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $1,000 good bond. 6, SAP calendar with a total $2,000 split bond. 7 is reset further notice with a $4,000 SOB through pretrial. 8, SAP calendar with a total $2,000 good bond. 9, SAP calendar with a total $1,000 good bond. 10 is reset further notice with a total $5,000 SOB through pretrial. 11 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,500 good bond. 12, reset further notice with a total $6,000 SOB through the jail. 13 is going to the SAP calendar with a $2,000 total split bond. 14, reset further notice with a total $4,000 SOB through pretrial. 15, SAP calendar with a $5,000 good bond. 16, SAP calendar with a $50 cash bond. 17, reset further notice with a $1,005 split bond. Actually, since it's a $5 cash,
You had it right. That's correct. You had it right.
I think it has to go on the SAP calendar. So this regards that reset further notice. 18 is going to go to the SAP calendar with a $3,000 good bond. Add-on number 1 is reset further, no, it's going to the SAP calendar with a $4,000 split bond. Add-on 2 is going to the SAP calendar with a $2,000 split bond. And add-on 3 is being reset further notice with a $5,000 SOB through pretrial. Are there any questions, comments, or otherwise?
What's the level for number 10?
Number 10, I have it as, let me go back here.
Level 2.
Okay. For glass.
Yes, level 2.
Your Honor, for number 8, Fanning, Mr. Fanning has to go to competency calendar, August 15th, Thursday.
Okay, yes, we did do that. So he does need to be, is that a Thursday, the 13th? No.
No, but we could add it to the 15th if you want that to go on the SAP.
Yeah, that's fine. Put him on 15.
Okay, got it. Are there any others? If not, Your Honor, I think that's it.
All right, despite all hurdles, we are in recess.
I got, hold
Yes.
on. This is about yesterday, not you, Judge. Anna and Holly, I got a question for you all real quick because I received an email. The gentleman we had yesterday, Elijah Thompson, that's the guy that had all those charges.
Mm-hmm.
Was he permitted to go back to get his stuff? Okay, thank you.
Hold on. Let me look.
Because I didn't see it on the bond order. That's why I was just asking. I don't know if he trying to be slick or what, because I got an
I'm
email
sure.
about it.
Yeah,
And
no.
I know the lady was terrified, so I didn't know. I wasn't listening.
It's not.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, take care, everyone. See you all soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Judge.